Yeah, come on.
Merry Christmas. What? Okay, it's 2:01. I learned that song 3 minutes ago. I was like, come on, what's the easiest Christmas song there is? This is it.
Thought it was freaking Jingle Bells, dude.
Yeah, it was Jingle Bells. This was my birthday present. It's awesome.
It's a Dobralele.
It's a guitar Mando or a Mando guitar.
Oh, yeah. Well, it sounds pretty darn good, man.
It works.
It's got to be the picker and not the picky.
It's pretty awesome. Oh.
When are you gonna play that? When are you gonna play that banjo on air?
You know, I gotta say, I was just reading everything everyone said in the last week on our YouTube channel, and somebody said, "When are you gonna play the banjo?"
That was me under a different name. I have a secondary account, and I troll myself. I'm just kidding.
Well, Jason, I don't know if you saw this, but I did they're right here in front of me too. I did the review on the glyphs, which they're a little cheaper now. I think they're in the $500 range, but at the time they were in the $700 range. So I thought, man, I got to do a really, really good review on these really expensive goggles, right?
Yeah.
So this guy posted, what a long-winded review. Maybe I'll talk about the tape on the box my lamp came in and do a review like this.
Oh, stuff like that. It cuts to the bone.
Ouch! Ouch!
There's nothing like there's nothing quite like getting a negative comment to derail a wonderful review.
Well,
how you guys doing? Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, boys.
Where's your Santa hat, my friend?
Yours a Guy Fieri hat, Jim T?
What?
I didn't get the
like
memo.
Guy Fieri's hair.
Yeah. I don't even know who Guy Fieri is.
You know who Guy Fieri is? He's the guy that's cooking, like a famous chef that has TV shows.
Nah.
He's got white hair that's all looks like your
that
hat.
guy. The guy with the spikes, and he's like, oh, man, I'm going to eat Creole because today I'm feeling Creole. What's up, guy? And he's always sweating. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of sweating, I was just about to mention that. Okay, so I'm wearing a cap because the sun's in my eyes. I'm wearing a Santa's hat. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. I'm wearing a ready-made shirt, and I have a cold. I'm sweating. I just took a shower. I'm sweating.
Apparently it's snowing in your room.
Oh, does it look like it's snowing?
Yeah, there's dust flying around.
I see it too. That's funny.
Oh, that's good stuff. So you're sweating bullets in there. You're sick as a dog. You know, they say that, Jim, if you sweat it out, you'll get better. I don't think there's any merit to that.
No, people just making things up.
Yeah, those people. So what's new in the RC world, boys?
Well, it's the last show before Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
I know Jason Cole went to the wintry lake of what lake is that, Jason?
That would be called Percy Priest Lake.
I've been on that lake and floated around in there. And so you went out there. Look, I'm going to say it right now. Jason, why don't you pull that video up of you flying over the lake?
Oh, yeah.
So everyone, Jason Cole has one of 4 Phantom 2 Pros.
What?
And
what?
What do you have? You have the
one of 4 Phantom 2, 46 and 7.
There's only 4 in the country.
No, it's an Inspire 2.
Inspire 2, right. And then I'm watching the video and I'm thinking, Jason is flying one of 4 machines over a lake.
Yeah.
Not in a million years would I do that. You would do that, Mecca.
Well, I wasn't even that far, really. It was only a mile.
Well, then there's that.
All right, here it is.
Need a dang bandana.
Boom, boom, boom. All right.
Let me put it on you. Here you go.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we were out filming. I was getting the final footage that I needed for the Inspire 2.
Oh yeah, typical December skies.
Had the X4S camera on it, and I was like, I had like 60% battery left. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out about a mile. And so I fly out, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do like a long, not really a hyperlapse. I thought I might do a hyperlapse and speed it up, but this is just real time. Just coming back home from about a mile out.
Open it up for a little bit.
What was that?
How about opening it up? It's too small on the screen.
Small.
Just go full screen with it. Boom.
Can you see it? All right.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the lake where I go paddleboarding with my wife in the summertime. You can see how low the water line is. You normally don't see those rocks. But I don't know. I was just having fun, just going out, and I was out a mile and 0 breakup, no glitches, no change in the feed, completely fine. I've been 2 miles with the Mavic and 0 issues. I mean, the technology that they've got in these things now just work, and it works really well. So
somebody in a comment said, wow, multiple people were commenting about how expensive it was. And I'll say it again. I think it's pretty cheap for what you're getting. It's a pro level machine.
It's expensive if you're a hobbyist looking to take some great pictures, you know.
So this is raw, right out of it. You didn't grade anything, correct?
I didn't color grade or do anything on this one.
Looks really nice.
It's just color setting was none, automatic everything.
That's a nice dock right there.
Basic stuff. So there we go. But yeah, so if you're a hobbyist, this is not for you. It's not a drone that's for you. It's really expensive, and you don't want the Inspire 2. But if you're a professional and you're shooting for work and for money, and you have your Part 107 in the United States, and you're doing everything legally, it's a pretty darn cheap piece of kit for what it does. I mean, it's amazing.
And there's a full review. Jason's done a whole review on this, all kinds of videos. How many videos do you think you put out on this?
9 to 10 to 12. I don't know. It was a bunch of, there's so much to cover. The thing does so many things, and the features are amazing, and the 2 different cameras and all of the stuff, like to try to cover it comprehensively in a review was ridiculous. So
you posted the spinning around one of the first ones you did. And
yeah,
I was genuinely amazed at how fast it spun and kept the gimbal. There were still a couple of haters that were like, "Wow, it spins. I mean, whoop-de-doo. What do you say?" And some guys like, "Ah, my Unique does that," you know. And I'm like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah,
you guys are just commenting to comment.
I don't know. I haven't heard technically why they didn't make it a 360 continuous rotation gimbal, but my suspicion is it has something to do with the high bit rate. Like, you know, we're pulling 100 megabytes of data through that system, and all of the processor guts are in the camera now, so it's not being processed in the camera below it. So I think passing all that raw data from the sensor up to the craft through a slip ring to get continuous pan just wasn't really feasible.
And you don't want to twist the umbilical cord, because if you go around more than twice, you'll twist it up in a knot.
Yeah, so this is the next best thing to that, and what I love about it is it initiates orientation control mode as it spins, so you don't even have to know that it's doing it as a pilot, and the camera operator doesn't care. You guys just do your normal thing and just forget, you know, that it's doing a spin, and you just never know what happens other than physically seeing it. But you don't see it in the footage, and it doesn't change the direction of flight or do anything weird with how you're flying it as a pilot. So I got to give them 2 thumbs up on how it works.
And that was a joke. There's no umbilical cord on that thing.
No, wait, I was taking you seriously.
You went right by it. No one even flinched.
Well, if it's not a slip ring, there's probably an umbilical cord up in there, like a ribbon, cable, wires, whatever it is. You can't see it. It's all integrated. But
whoever the daddy is gets the honors of cutting it.
You got to cut it. Hey everyone, let me see who in the list here got one of these.
Jamie says, "I don't understand gimbals. Can you give a brief definition?"
Hold on, here we go.
So,
what is that?
Who got one of these?
Dude, all I want to say is all these people started posting their pictures. I had emptied mine and dumped the guts and ate all the chocolate in the first 5 minutes, and then threw the wrappers away. I totally wanted to post a picture of the mayhem. Yeah, that's a Hobbico thank you Christmas thing
from Natalie at Hobbico. Thank you, Natalie. I don't know if you watch our show. I'm sure you're very busy there at Hobbico.
Oh yeah.
I've been talking to Jay over there at Hobbico this week quite a bit.
What's old Jay got to say?
Oh, you know, business. Just a standard RC grind.
It is a grind, man. There's a lot going on right now. We gotta, you know, okay, so Jim, you're a barometer of the RC industry. You like that?
That's what it says on my card.
Yeah, I know. I made the cards for you. No, I'm just kidding. So, what is winter usually like? This is my 3rd year with RCGroups, isn't it? 3 years now?
I think that's right.
Yeah, man. So, how's it been over the years? Is winter always crazy for releases? Because there's a lot of stuff coming out this winter.
Yes, and also the numbers really dramatically increased. So like we're running about I was looking yesterday. In fact, I shot a video live, and we were running almost 20,000 people on RC Groups yesterday.
You know, it's on purpose. It's because the weather sucks so bad and we're all depressed, and they're like, well, we need to push out new products to keep everybody happy. So that's why they do that. Little known fact.
Little known. Way to spill the guts on those facts.
Well, speaking of that, I know under an older man's tree, 70 years plus, I don't think he watches his show, is a FPV quadcopter that he'll be receiving. So
awesome.
I'm making some FPV dreams come true this Christmas.
Nice.
That's so cool, man. I'm making some rock crawler dreams come true for my 3-year-old son, and he doesn't listen to the show either, so I can talk about it. Under the Christmas tree is an ECX 1/24 scale crawler from Horizon Hobby. So he gets on YouTube Kids, and he watches there's a couple of English guys that have a Traxxas X-Max, and they have a brushless slash, and they just bang it through the water, and they say all their little British colloquialisms and stuff like that, you know. And
Bangers in Maine.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what they say for these 30-minute videos. So he turns to me one day and he's like, Dad, I want an RC car that can go in the mud. And I'm like, well, let's start off with baby steps. So here's a 1/24 scale crawler.
Let me ask you.
Go have at it.
You should have just stopped and shook his hand. Thank you, son. You're everything I ever dreamed.
I shed a tear right there. I mean, I decided not to talk about that part, but I did. I shed a little tear, and I said, you know, you're going the way that I want you to go. And of course, the wife was like, oh, Jesus.
That's awesome. My son this year has been big on wrap. He's like decided he's going to wrap presents. He's like, you got anything to wrap? So like I've become the leather making Christmas gift machine down here. My wife will be like, can you make a blah for the blah and a blah for the blah, blah, blah. And I just make them and throw them upstairs and trim and wraps them.
Have you made a leather chastity belt yet?
No.
Okay.
She was at a party last night. I'll tell you the beauty. We're really jumping off the RC track.
It's all good. It's
but
Christmas.
The beauty of the iPhone is that I can hit find a friend and I can see where the hell she's at.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
all right.
I can't do anything about it. At least I know what's going on. Hey,
I don't want to miss this listener question. We had somebody write in and say he didn't understand gimbals and he wanted us to talk about them for a second. So,
I got one right here if you want me to hold it up.
Yeah.
I think the easiest description is to start right in, Jason, with the turkey head or a chicken head.
The chicken head.
You know, you move a chicken, but their head stays in the same place.
Yep, here's one right here for you. This is the old gimbal, although this is a slightly expensive gimbal.
Yes, it is.
So,
very.
What do they want to know about gimbals?
Well, I think
how does it work?
It's designed to keep the camera lens and sensor stable while the aircraft moves around, you know. So it allows you to have a nice, smooth, you know, stable image when you're recording videos.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't want to do is FPV out of that camera.
Not this guy. So yeah, this one has the stop too, Jason. Goes all the way around to right there, and then back around. Interesting.
So basically you have two servo motors. Those are what your circular cans are. And those are running to some amazingly smart board, which is running.
You're right. 3 brushless motors that are stabilizing the camera, and everything goes through this little slip ring up here and gets pushed into the processor inside of the DJI Inspire 1. So.
Do you have a handheld unit for that?
Yeah, I actually do. Where is it? Everything's let's see. I'm looking over here. I'm trying to find. All right, you guys talk amongst yourselves
Jason,
for a second.
are you sick? Do you have a cold?
I am perfectly healthy.
Everybody in Nashville.
I think previous Christmases I have been sick, so I'm holding out hope that it'll be good this year.
Yeah,
we're getting ready to head out of town tomorrow to North Carolina.
Which family?
I'm going to take a Mavic with me. Unfortunately, there's no snow, but I will be up in the mountains, so maybe I can get some cool.
Is that your family?
Or something. Yeah, that's where both of our families are from. So,
right
in Boone, North Carolina.
Think you might retire in North Carolina?
No, definitely not.
Well, he's gone, so I'm going to talk about
Hawaii or San Diego. I want to live on the Torrey Pines Glad Airport property.
Yeah.
If that's possible. That's not possible, but it would be awesome.
I think I'm gonna become the liaison of Mac Hodges and Hodges Field, and that's where I'm going to.
There you go.
Hey, I have some big news.
Talk to me. What's your big news, bud? Oh, here we go. Let's turn this thing on.
I did put a ding in this thing when I crashed it. I've got a little ding in the wing. You can't really see it. Hey, I was on the phone with John at Eagle Tree, and guess what? The Mini Vector was shipping as of, I guess, the day or two ago.
Dude, you're going to love that little unit. It is very nice.
He wrote me, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's happening. And he said, I'm literally shipping things right now. And I said, oh, great. Because, I've been wondering when it was going to get going. And so he said, I've got one on the way to you. And I said, well, I'm going to put it in this Mini Sky Hunter. And so this will be the test bed for that. You've already done this though, Matt, right? It's old news for you.
No, it's still, it's not old news. I use it all the time, and it's a really killer setup. However, I have the pre-production unit, which didn't have a case on it. It was just the standard old board. You're going to get one with the case. I would recommend just putting the whole case, sitting it right in there on the CG of the plane, and have at it. Now, there's a lot of soldering to do.
Stock?
Yes, they do.
In stock. Oh.
No, like I thought it was going to come caseless because it's, can be used for multi-rotors and drones that are going to mount to a board with.
I think they said that they include the case, and it just snaps on if you want. Yeah.
By the way, Jason, there's something you don't know.
Oh, there's something I do know.
That you're getting a quad with the Mini Vector in it?
Yeah, John emailed me.
All right.
What are you getting?
Some kind of hot quad setup he's got. I don't know what frame it is
hot
or
quad.
what power system. He says it's a smoking power system, crazy hot with the Vector Mini, Micro, Nano, whatever they're calling it, and it's all tuned up. And so I'm going to play around with that for a little bit, and
then he's going to pass it to the next guy. So this thing's evidently going around the country. Hey, does anyone know how we can invite Nikolai and Mean Joe Vermillion on the live chat?
Yeah, just send them the link. Here's this. I'll send it to him. Here's my gimbal in action. I think we've all seen the this little guy here. Here's what's cool. You can go into flashlight mode if you just hold it like this and then press it twice. Whoop! Now it's in flashlight mode. All this crud on here is just aftermarket stuff and see, now it's facing up, and I hit that twice. Oh, hi, how you doing? Didn't see you there.
That's awesome.
There you go. And then you can also, what I like about it is that you can follow things around with the little joystick that's on the back. So I'm digging this guy.
Somewhere on this thing you could put Death Ray 2000, so if somebody sees you with it, they'll at least know.
Yeah, they'll call. And
you should get a fake chicken head to put on top of the camera.
Oh yeah, like as if I need more crud on it to weigh some more. All right, let me get these guys on here. See if they can. See if I can find them.
So we have Joey Crane, we have Mean Joe online, Discover RC, BOK1797. I call him BO for short. We have Flying Flea, Eric Sin Center. That's Sin twice.
Discover RC's taunting us with the weather is okay in California.
Hey, the weather's pretty good where I am. It's actually warm today. It's 36.
The only problem is in California.
Although what's really ugly is that what's ugly about this whole section of the country is that I was out running some errands today, went and picked up some lipos at the FedEx place, and the guy's like, "What do you think about this weather?" And I started laughing, and then I looked at him, and he's totally dead serious. And because it's not 8 degrees, it's 36. So it's a warm front. And it's the second time someone said, "Well, what do you think about the weather?" I'm like, "Well, it sucks, but it sucks less than it did yesterday."
Oh, gosh.
They look at me like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "You see that Georgia native sticker on the back of my truck? That's me trying to relive where I'm from."
Have you been outside today, Jason?
Well, we had the door open because the AT&T guy was here fixing my satellite dish.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that. Do you think maybe you might have made a wrong decision by switching from Comcast to AT&T?
No, I was happy with the decision. I'm getting 900 plus megabits per second to my computer right now in data speeds with fiber.
I want to tell you what you can get.
Nothing wrong with that. But so it was just the guy that installed the satellite dish had to do both systems in the same day. Took him 8 hours. He was dead. He forgot to add a couple of brackets to the dish, and it just got knocked out of alignment with the ice storm we had. And so it's all fixed up now. Should be no problem going forward.
Speaking of ice storm, Miss Ashley was supposed. I'm eating chocolate. Then
Yes.
You eating a Hershey Kiss out of the
Speaking of storms,
my God. I was going to send not Natasha but Ashley to an event, and she couldn't go because of the weather. And they also had a tornado rip right through Clover Creek.
a nader?
Really?
Yeah, so they said that John was out in the field not watching TV or anything, and he didn't even know, and a tornado came down the road. Tina said, I'll not do that next time, eat a Hershey's Kiss before I talk, but Tina said that the Christmas decorations, everything outside literally got sucked off the property.
Holy cow.
So they just got their power and everything back last night.
Wow. I did not hear about that. That's crazy.
I had John and everyone up there. I've got a Oshkosh opportunity for John. We haven't talked about it yet, but I'm going to talk about it on here just in case John can't do it. Oshkosh called me. Oshkosh, the air show we went to last year, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The largest full-scale air show in the world.
The largest and most active full-scale air show.
So I get a call from the guy who's setting up. He calls them forums. But what it is every day there are speakers at Oshkosh. And so this year they are looking for an iMac, an RC model iMac speaker. They thought it would be interesting for the full scale pilots to hear about how we do it in RC.
Cool.
I said, well, what are you talking about though? And he said, we need a guy to speak for 1 hour on iMac and RC models. And I said, what would they talk about? And he said, anything they want, but like, how to judge an iMac contest. I don't even know how you would judge a model airplane contest, how you get into it, how much does it cost? And so I've got to call into John Schroeder. I thought he would be a great guy for this, but you have to pay your own way. Now you get a free day at Oshkosh, but you need to get up there and hotel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So John Schroeder has the first hit at this if he wants it. Otherwise, I would love to hear from somebody who's iMac based, who would feel comfortable speaking in front of people at Oshkosh. And somehow I've been tasked with finding that person for them this year.
That is cool.
Or this coming year. Yeah.
Too bad you can't. They won't, put you up in a hotel or something like that. Heck, it'd be nice just to stay on the field.
You know what I said? I said, so it's all expenses paid. And he goes, it's no expenses paid. All no expenses paid.
In fact, you pay us for the privilege.
I laughed. I was like, oh, okay, that'll be an easy sell.
Hey, you want to go talk for an hour at an air show? Yeah, it's in Wisconsin.
Well, it is Oshkosh, so it is an honor,
Of course it is.
It's cool.
And if you are doing that, you probably can afford to go to Oshkosh.
Maybe they'll throw in the ability to ride a Segway around the property too.
Oh, speaking of which, we got an offer from a RCGroups user who does security there, and he said we can ride around on his golf cart if we go next year.
Ooh, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it gets all elbows to elbow up in there toward the end, man.
It was a lot of walking.
We can't get Mean Joe in. Apparently, there's a problem this time with the link.
What?
I've done. It's the same link I've given him time and time again, and now it's not working.
Okay, so
let me see if I can send him something.
I have more RC related news. So these are my focals from Fat Shark. They are sold by Horizon, and I have them upside down. I have actually been using these to great success, but I was at the field and I, for some reason, decided to pull out the dual diversity. Now, I just read in an ad on RCGroups that this is an updated dual diversity unit. Anyone else have information on that yet?
First of all, it's diversity, not dual diversity. Dual diversity would be a pair of diversity receivers in diversity, which happens all the time.
Quadversity.
Yeah, it's quadversity.
It's a habit.
RC does it for their races through Joe Scully. But I digress.
I have dual 2 eyes, guys.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn you people.
Yeah, no, you have dual sets of eyeballs. There you go. 4 in total. That is V2, I think, if that's what you're getting at, because the original one was not necessarily. I heard this over and over again. I said this on last week's podcast or the video chat when we were talking about it, is that it's not necessarily a diversity receiver. The old version of the Fat Shark was not. However, that is. That's all I know.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
I was talking to Matt, and I'm like, man, I can't see anything. I did something. And he said, I bet you bent a prong. So if you pop your diversity out, I'll just do this live on TV. It has a set of prongs here that correspond with your unit. And I actually looked, and I did have a prong that was slightly bent.
I
Fixed it. Everything was fine.
Good, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fix also. I don't think they've even fixed it yet. Everybody who has Fat Sharks knows that if you go through, let's just say a RMRC DVR 1000 or something like that to DVR after the fact, sometimes even in the headset, there are certain receivers or transmitters that don't play well with Fat Shark, and you don't get the audio. You ever had that problem before, Jason, where you just get that funky static through your Fat Shark audio signal? No,
you know, I had Fat Sharks a long time ago, but then I went more high end than that. I went Cinemizers and then switched over to the head plays from there. So
you're too important for me.
I haven't had that issue.
Well, anyway, I've always had that problem, and then I found a fix was to disable one of those pins is the audio pin in there, and you can disable the left or right channel, and it'll fix that problem. It's actually on RCGroups as an article. So you got to go bending prongs just to get your Fat Sharks to have audio out.
Hey, guess who I talked to last week?
Vova
at Head Play. Did I say that last week? I've already mentioned this.
Sort of, but continue.
Well, I talked to him after we did our broadcast last week, and I said, hey, we're speculating on, this was after. Hey, we're speculating on the V2s and what it has, thinking he might give me some hints, but he wanted to hear what we thought it might have, and then he wanted to go check out the video, but I have not heard from him since. So hopefully we're going to get the lowdown. I said, hey, I want the scoop on this when it's available.
He's probably in Russia jumping from building to building. He's one of those crazy Russian hardcore. Yeah, parkour guys.
Is he really a parkour guy?
No, but he could be, because he referred to his goggles as the people's goggles, which is totally Russian if you think about it. So anyway, I can't wait for the V2s. I'm stoked.
Jason, can you wait?
I can wait. I probably won't buy another set. Give me one to review and check out, I'll do that. But I'm pretty happy with what I got for at least a little while.
Yeah, I'm happy with my Fat Sharks. I've been using them for a while, and I use the Headplay V1s, or the Vs, because that's it. There is no 2 yet. I use those for other people when we do tiny whooping around the house. I chased my sister around the house with a tiny whip, and I was like, bing, bing, just banging into her back, and she was screaming. And then I just kept doing it, and she literally went into fetal position and was like, I can't take it anymore. I thought she was joking. She got serious. She was like, it's so scary.
I've had a girl at a party scream. I flew up to her. She didn't know what the hell it was and screamed like a little girl.
Did she slap it out of the air?
No, thank goodness. So this is not RC related, but my wife, I said something related to you, Matt Gunn, and she said, you know what your problem is and Matt Gunn problem is? And I was like, no. And she said, you watch too much Walking Dead. And then I pulled out my samurai sword, and I said, I don't even know what you're talking about, woman.
You Michoned her.
Yeah. The number one Walking Dead weapon, the samurai sword.
Well, you know, I think The Walking Dead has created a whole subset of people that are prepared for the inevitable collapse of the economy and martial law and all the stuff that's probably going to happen. And we won't go too far into that.
We can't because somebody on YouTube asked us not to talk about.
No, they said not talk about the T word. So we won't talk about the T word. But
no.
I don't know. That's what Walking Dead does, is it makes you say, what if I was in that situation? Well, hell, I better buy bullets and guns.
Matt Gunn or Jason Cole was talking about utilization of his drone in a social situation where he needed to see what was going on.
That's a good idea. I'd say we could definitely scout without leaving the house.
So, Jason, you were going to tell us what you got your wife for Christmas this week.
Ooh, dinging.
Oh, was I?
That's what you said last week. You said, I can't tell you this week, but be sure to tune in next week when I'll tell everyone.
She watches.
It's just nobody's business. That's all.
Your wife doesn't watch this show. Right, Jason?
No, she's already got it. I've already opened it. We've been.
What's up with you guys giving early Christmas presents? I was talking to
Hey,
Joe
you can celebrate
Estes.
Christmas anytime, man.
Joe Estes got him. He's like, dude, I just got a new camera for Christmas for my wife. I'm like, it's not till Sunday. What's up with you guys?
Nice. No, she likes massages, so I got her some massage stuff and like a heating back thing that she can sit on the couch and enjoy.
Did you give her a coupon that said good for one?
Nothing special. No, I didn't do that. I know better. I learned. They'll use those things. Like, it's not just junk. They'll use them.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I find the giant scale news has really slowed down during Christmas. Well, don't you think, Matt? I'm serious.
What slowed down?
That's right. Hey, everyone, it's me, Over Million.
They make it.
Just exactly at the right moment. Whoop!
Merry Christmas, man.
Wouldn't even know I had a cold.
What's up, Mean Joseph?
Did you get any chocolate, Mean Joe?
I did.
Yeah, man, that girl's prolific. She's everywhere.
I'm telling you, dude. You got your headset on sideways, man. Come on, fix it up. You're looking a little bit peaked.
All right.
I was joking, by the way. You look great.
Yeah, I did.
I literally thought I was the super specialist person out there, and then 99 other dudes get it, and I'm like,
We had somebody say, I thought this was an RC group thing. Sorry, my mistake. Bye. Oh,
what's up, man?
We're talking RC stuff, aren't we?
Oh, someone was already complaining?
Oh, no. I don't know. Hey, it's Christmas. This is our Christmas party.
Hey, you guys want me to do a live unboxing?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Is it RC related?
You better believe it. This thing weighs in. Okay, it says on the front here.
Looks
What
like
does that say? It says Venom. 16,000. Here we go. Dun 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 dun. Got my trusty opener here that I've dropped on my foot before. It lawn darted right in. All right. You guys ready? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Comes in a case.
Nice.
You like that? All right, let's see here. We're going to open it up. 1 and 2. Holy hand grenades.
What is it now?
It's a freaking battery pack from heck.
That's not legal.
No, it's not. This is like a pack of C4 in the form of lithium polymer. There you go, guys.
What is it?
That's awesome.
I'm starting to sweat just holding this thing up. It literally weighs a lot. So I've got a special surprise. I can't share it quite yet on air, but this is going to go in something.
Yeah, what?
Obviously.
Tiny whoop.
Yeah, a tiny whoop. Yeah,
Now the gigantic whoop.
If you drop this on a tiny whoop, it would be pretty similar to running it over with a car. So, oh look, more of these. Sweet. No, everybody needs a good set there. And
wait, what was
it also? Oh, it's just a some
Velcro
hook and loop.
Oh, okay.
And then we got this beautiful little cell checker it came with. Look at that. They even include a cell checker.
I love a cell checker, man.
Me too.
I'm the king at picking them up and forgetting where I put them.
So here's what I like about this pack is that here's your balance tap. It's not even on there because you can plug in your balance tap right there and you can remove it for flight purposes so it's not in the way and flinging around. And
nice.
Yeah. Man, look at those connectors on there. You think those are big enough?
Wow. I bet they pop when you plug them.
Oh, you know it, man. Kapow! Pop! Yep. So that's a nice toy. Thank you for choosing a giant pack. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that's my live unboxing before Christmas. That's all I got. What about you guys?
Matt, we still have a contest going on RCGroups, correct?
We do. It wraps up at the beginning of the year, and people still have to put their call signs in order to win. So
What's the name of that contest?
I call it the call sign contest, but it's called I don't know what we never really named it, did we?
Well, I came up with the idea, but I thought you did call it the contest.
I did.
Oh no, we did not. It's the FMS P47 Razorback plug and play.
Yeah, I called it the call sign contest. Win an FMS P47 Razorback, and all you have to do is say what your call sign would be if you flew one. So let's see what some people.
Jackrabbit.
Hammer, ray gun, lightning, gun nuts with a Z on the end. Poncho Savage, Juggernaut.
Got him.
There's some good stuff in here. Call sign Tanker. I'm reading some of these.
So we also have a new RC Groups podcast that's live. You can download that off our podcast page. I have a notice at the top of RC Groups to help you find the link to go grab that. And we have a video of the exact same podcast in case you want to watch it instead of listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, Jason, you just did cold weather drone flying tips. When I saw this go live, I knew it's because you've been outside flying that Inspire.
Yeah, my fingers were freezing. I was tired of it.
You know, Jason,
I love flying Inspire, but I hated doing it this time of year. I do like really cool products, and they want us to review them. Try to make them release in the summertime.
Seriously. You know, I did that review on that transmit, and I've come to the conclusion, Jason, that you are anti-transmit, because every time you ever do a cold weather thing, which is every year, by the way, you never put my transmit article review in. You always link to that gosh darn Hobby King giant box thing that looks like one of those things that you put your hands in when you're handling plutonium. You know, it's this huge box, and it's like, dude, what about my transmit review?
Maybe I'm just jaded because I don't have one. I don't know.
Jaded is a good way to put it.
I said to Jason, don't you, I mean, you've been reviewing stuff for 20 years. Don't you have a mitt? And he's like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, God, I can't fly.
Yeah, the problem is I can't fly with gloves on because you lose all the feeling, and it's just terrible. And it's kind of a hassle and a pain in the butt, especially when you got to have an iPad like mounted to your transmitter, you know, for the screen. If it was just a regular transmitter flying RC stuff, it'd be fine with I've got like an old Hobby King transmitter mitt thing that's really nice, but it doesn't really work with an FPV setup with an iPad. So,
well, there's a actual, I did the research and I bought some, Jason, and I think you may end up liking this idea. I was in the same boat as you. I can't wear gloves because I'd lose the feeling, but my hands were freezing. So I went and did the research, and I bought some Under Armour football catching gloves that are so thin that they literally protect you enough from the elements, but you can still completely feel the sticks.
Yeah.
And they work. They're just black Under Armour gloves, and they work really nicely. So you should check them out.
I think my solution is going to be, especially with my Mavic, because it's got the crazy range and signal, that I'm just going to fly in the car.
I do that too.
There's
just
no
sit in the
reason
car
not
and
to
fly.
do that. Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, we actually didn't tell each other we were wearing hats. That was an accident, the Santa hats.
Did you call me JB?
No.
Right.
Jamie Coupland says, why are there only two wearing Santa hats?
We just don't have the spirit. We just don't have the Christmas spirit. You got Scrooge McDuck on the outside over there, and I'm the ghost of Christmas, whatever.
It took me a while to get into the Christmas spirit this year.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, man, I'm gonna hate when my son gets old enough that he doesn't know there's a such thing as Santa Claus. So these are first world problems as a father now.
Did you see that guy on that line that told was that preacher that went to the mall and told that kid, that parent's kid, that there was no such thing as Santa Claus?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw the article. That guy.
I would have hurt that guy.
Then you would have been on news for punching him out, and you would have been a national hero. And
me and Joe goes to jail because
you would have gone to jail just on the you have to go to jail, right? Because you punched somebody. But even the cop would be like, "You're not going to be in here long, dude."
Yeah, he would have got a throat punch for sure.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, banter. Love it.
Straight into banter. So speaking of Mean Joe Vermillion throat punching, the E-Flight Icon review has gone live, Mean Joe.
I seen that. Nice.
That is the artsiest leading edge image possibly of the year. I believe you win an award.
I think
wow. Really?
That does go in there.
Nice.
Why don't you guys I'll go ahead and share that leading edge image.
Where is it? I don't see it.
Here you go. Let me share. Ready?
It's
there it is. With the with the RCG sign in it.
And
Screen share. Here we go. Can you guys see that?
Someone's wondering, I'll present you here. That sign was made by none other than Lane Stair. I call him Stairs. Is his name Star or Stair?
I thought it was Star.
I think it's Star. I'm not sure.
It's Stahr, and
Shooting star.
he makes all kinds of things. And so last year for Jonal, I said, could you make us a sign for the golf cart? So he cut the one out behind my back here. And then, Joe, yours is slightly smaller. You use it on everything to a high degree.
Look at that.
It's awesome.
I love the Olin Mills backdrop. That's just my favorite. I call it that. It's not really Olin Mills. It would need a wagon wheel and a picket fence.
Right, yeah.
And it would need to be a different color. But you did really well, man, getting this little guy here. That's cool.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Jason, you weren't there, I don't think. Maybe you were. These people flying that icon at the field and they were landing it like a pile of bricks over and over again. Were you there that day?
That's not good.
At our field?
Yeah.
No, must not have been.
It was like, whoa, bam. I mean, just over and over. I was really impressed that it could take it.
This thing is smooth.
You know, it's put together really well, too. I noticed right off the bat, it probably could have used a little bit more juice because we had problems when we were testing it that day for the video. We had problems getting it to break the surface of the water. It was so calm, it was like glass. But once we got it in the air, it flew fantastic. It really did.
I heard they're pretty noisy too.
Yeah, it is really noisy. Yeah, it is pretty noisy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it props close to the fuselage.
Well, it's really thick too. I was surprised that prop has to put out a ton of torque because that prop is way thicker than any prop I've ever seen on a plane that size.
Looking good.
Now, I heard the full scale version of this was not the best airplane on the market.
Oh God, how long has that thing been in development? 10
it's
years?
Like the sports car of the airplane world, though. I mean, it's awesome.
Did we see some? Didn't we see?
Oh, yeah.
Oshkosh, yeah, they're at Oshkosh every year.
I got pictures of us with it.
Yeah, they actually launched this Horizon Hobby E-Flight version the same time that they launched the new when they unveiled the full-scale icon at Oshkosh.
Hey, man, I did something I didn't think I could do. I broke the prop on my Mini Skyhunter.
Did you really?
Just now?
No, when I crashed it in that video the other day.
Are you guys still on me full screen?
Not anymore, but we're going back on to you right now, live with Matt Gunn.
I wanted to show you the, here it is. Here's the real icon. Are you guys live on me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so there we go. There's the real deal Holyfield.
I remember.
Look at that.
They even had a cool car pulling it.
Yeah, they had that Range Rover, I think. Look at that cockpit. That is sports car-esque, isn't it?
You would be a bad man if you were the guy flying that airplane.
There's your wing. Everything hooks together so it folds. Look at that. Holy moly.
Hotness.
Now that one's got plenty of power, you think?
For sure.
Here's my plane.
Guys, keep it in line with the winter weather, cold stuff. We had a question about which sim do you prefer. So what are your guys' favorite simulators?
Say where I left off last, 7.5 real flight.
Yeah, I'm kind of handcuffed because I'm on Mac, but I'm building up a PC. I want to be able to run the real flight. I've tried the real flight on a couple other machines, and I really like it. But I'm stuck with Aerofly because I'm on a Mac.
Aerofly was awesome, man. I loved it when Aerofly came out with the full-scale planes. And the sounds that they had, it was amazing.
Yeah, on the last update, they eliminated all those. They made they made it so you can scale the planes. But they've only got 3 true scale planes in it now anymore. They don't have they had the P-51 and they had the SOP with camo. Now all there is the camo and water plane. And
wonder what happened.
That's it. I don't know.
Crazy. That SOP with through your stereo speakers just sounded so awesome.
Yeah.
SOP. Now I do have Real Flight X, and while it's
you have to say it like that every time? Like when you say in a conversation, I have Real Flight X.
I have Real Flight X. It's excellent. But it is.
Jason has to say that every hour he has to bring up Real Flight X.
It's in my contract.
It's in his contract.
for the review. I had
Tell
to
us
sign.
about Real
Yeah,
Flight.
right.
That's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
No, but it is. It flies. The physics are really impressive, and the graphics are the best looking graphics I've seen on a simulator. So it does take a really high end PC. It doesn't have multiplayer. So there's some drawbacks, but there's some good positives. So it's going to depend on what you want. And if you want to just really practice like drone racing, that's a whole different set of sims like Hot Props or Free Rider.
Hot
And
props.
there's a bunch of them out there.
Now, so one of the complaints about Real Flight X was that it didn't have the ability to build aircraft, and they put that back in there now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they did that on the
updated that.
latest update. I have a feeling that the multiplayer is next. I hope.
Would be cool. I would love, because they've got the really cool racing courses and things. It would be cool to be able to do that with your buddies.
I like that idea.
My computer cannot run it.
Mine can. I think I'm up there with Jason, although he has a slightly more powerful graphics processor than I do. But we both just built new computers. So.
Yeah, I've set up for the Oculus Rift, and I got real excited a little bit ago because the guy posted, I'm a member of the Oculus Rift group, and they were talking about he found a radio-controlled simulator for the Rift. And I was like, oh, I'm in. I want to try that. And then he couldn't find it again. So I'm like, man, if you find it, let me know. I'll write an article about it on RCGroups. I want to get it and play with it. But yeah, I'm taking my whole computer and setup stuff with us to North Carolina to let my family try the Rift out and scare my mom. Hopefully it'll be fun.
Just make sure she's sitting down, because you see all those videos where people get into the virtual reality and then just keel over at the mall and fall flat on their back, and they're like, I'm okay, I'm okay. Nothing hurt but your pride.
I put that guy in the goggles on my RC truck as I was climbing a hill, and he literally fell over backwards and knocked my tripod over.
Well, it's different now, especially with the touch controllers. I'm doing everything standing up, and I don't even get close to falling. It's just like standing in real life now because you're interacting within your space. But the reason I want an RC simulator on the Rift is I know the graphics won't look as good as an HD set on the 4K monitor or whatever, but I just screen in 2 dimensions and flying around and having the camera pan right as you fly right and pan left. It's just so unrealistic, right? We don't fly like that in real life. So to be able to be inside the goggles in the Rift, kind of like you're flying FPV, but it's like you're physically in this other place. And when you fly, you have to look, like you do in real life. You look with your head.
That's the missing link.
Going.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to do that in the Rift.
And they're gonna have it. Real Flight's already working on it.
Definitely.
Well, it's right now all the simulator really is muscle memory, right? So then when you add in the when you can follow the airplane around and the camera doesn't move, that is what polishes it off. So.
I tell you what, I've noticed a huge difference because I'm an instructor at my field as well, and I've noticed a huge difference in the new students that we have coming in now. They come in and they don't need me after 3 or 4 flights. They're good to go because that's what they did is they went out and they bought a simulator and they worked on the simulator all winter, and then they come out there in the spring and they're pretty much ready to go at that point. So
yeah, and it's the same thing with the freestyle guys. All these amazing YouTube videos you see of the guys with the freestyle quads doing really insane stuff, with FPV. Yeah, they're practicing in real life a lot, but they're practicing even more. They're trying to nail down new moves, doing all this backwards, like camera up looking stuff. They do all that in the sim before they try it in the real world.
I'm amazed some of those guys don't even have line of sight flying before they got into the quads. They've got like a year of flying since they even understood about RC, and now they're stick banging it on YouTube and like getting 1 million views.
Yeah.
I was watching ESPN, and not everyone, but the majority of those pilots had only been flying a year.
Oh, brutal, man. And here I am like 20 years in, and I wish I could do that. That's all good. So what else is new, boys?
We expect more from you, Matt Gunn.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
Mean Joe, what's on the plate, man? What's on the building block back there? I'm sure you got
right now I'm waiting on some weather. I've got 2 reviews pending. I'm just waiting on some flight videos, and I just turned in the review on the Dynamite here a couple days ago. We'll see how that comes back. Other than that, I'm just doing my typical winter building stuff. I got a SIG LT40 back here I'm building so I can put one in my trailer. I always carry a trainer with me. That way, if I have anybody that walks up and says, "Hey, that looks cool," I can throw them on a buddy box and let them fly.
What kind of transmitter / buddy box do you use?
I usually just use the Spectrum. I've got setups where I can run. I've got the high tech. I've got it set up, and I've got a tactic radio that I can set up too. But I found out that the Spectrum one's probably the most reliable one that I've ran across so far.
Now, do you use the Spectrum cord or you use their Bluetooth? I
usually go corded because I have a DX9 and then I have a 6i that I carry as a spare transmitter in my case. So that way I can they don't have to have anything when they show up. I can just throw them right on.
Cool.
I've got the DX9 right here, which is my primary, and
I have that same one.
And then I've got the SE, which is $149, and it's a wireless buddy box.
That one does have the wireless. Then I didn't know that.
Yeah, the 6E has it.
Yeah, I might have to check that out. My 6i is getting pretty long in the tooth right now. It's
$149. There's no way on earth to beat the deal.
No.
Plus, all the menu setups are the same as in my 9 or my 18 that I was running before this one.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty.
It's pretty awesome. I switched to the 9 from the 18 for the voice, and this is kind of a newer model than I had the V1 DX18, which was awesome, but this is just as awesome for me.
The Nicole Kidman.
What?
I will never let that rest. She sounds like Nicole Kidman, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I guess I never thought of that.
You know, ailerons down. It's like whatever what is something that the thing says?
Whatever you say, Nicole. Landing. Okay.
Landing. Sure, Nicole Kidman. Thanks.
You got it. Oh, I was going to say, when I was on the phone with John at Eagletree, I love to give product ideas to people because I know they're almost always impossible. And so I was like, John, you know what we need? You know, when you used to go to a drive-in theater and you would take the speaker off the rack and hook it onto your window and roll your window up and listen to the drive-in movie. Probably no one remembers that. Mean Joe, did you ever go to a drive-in movie?
I did.
Okay. Well, it was aluminum and it would hang off your window and you'd listen to the movie that way. Very terrible. But I was like, I want that, but I want to hang it on the outside of my window and it's my whole base unit. And so like I could drive to the field, hang it out the window and then fly in the driver's seat of my truck with the heater on and then pull it back in and then go home.
Oh, nice. I see. Okay.
Yeah. A truck base unit.
Nice.
I guess you could just have a magnet and just put it on like a cherry on a cop car. That dates me too. No one's ever heard of that either.
So now wait,
Roscoe Pico train.
So you're trying to tell me Matt and Jason never been to a drive-through with the hangers?
I went to an old dilapidated one in Savannah, Georgia. I went to an old dilapidated one that was torn down.
We still go today, but they're all FM radio frequency now.
Yeah, they go through the radio. Yeah, that's right.
I've been to the drive-in twice in Atlanta. Once to see Stephen King's The Mist, which was pretty good. And then some other movie, I have no idea. We ended up throwing a Frisbee the entire time because it was that bad.
You can fly at a drive-in like that.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine flying in front of the screen?
Or maybe tiny whoop it. Like everyone get their tiny whoops and go to a drive-in and then have some tiny whoop races. That'd be awesome.
Unfortunately, most of them are closing down now because of the whole digital thing. That's sad. We used to go every year, man. It was great.
Memory.
Okay, so Mean Joe, you got a camera for Christmas.
I got a camera for Christmas.
Is that what I heard?
Did you?
No, that was
Jim. You weren't supposed to say anything. Dang, his wife literally asked you what she should get him.
No, actually, that was Murdoch that got the camera. So, what do you think you're going to get for Christmas, Mean Joe?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I have no idea, really. She does all that stuff, so.
Oh God, you're such a typical husband, man. Just like me. You're like, I don't know. My wife does all the shopping, and I just sit at home all day.
Yeah, she's amazing. She does all that stuff.
Matt Gunn, what are you getting for Christmas?
I'm getting a new tripod that I asked for, something kind of lightweight, so I can roll around Joe Knoll and do that. And then I'm probably going to get some clothes and I don't know, something like that. What about you guys?
I traditionally don't get anything for Christmas. It's pretty sad.
Oh man, cue the violin.
I've got kids. It's all about the kids, you know.
Yeah, but what about your wife, man? I mean, didn't she get you like a freaking brand new Apple iPhone? Is that a Christmas gift too, or is that
was my
birthday?
But I'm doing a thing for her in the vein of this, except with crows and sunflowers for Christmas.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what you should do, man? You should make a leather flower to put in her little flower holder on her car, on her dashboard.
Interesting idea.
You like that, man?
Yeah.
Make some petals, curl it up, do that whole thing, but add a little Mexican bandito feel to it with a couple of bullets hanging from it.
Well, let me ask you this, Matt Gunn. Have you been naughty or nice this year?
I've been pretty nice this year, which is a change. I've been doing everything my wife has been asking me to do around the house, all my honey-do lists, all the cleaning, all the stuff like that. I made my son a Pinewood Derby ramp. So that was kind of my first foray really into woodworking. And it turned out okay. So he's going to love it.
We're at the end of the show, and we did this last week, but I actually thought about it some more since last week. And since it is our last show until Christmas, I want to go around one more time, and maybe you guys have thought about it too. What would be the one RC product that you would get for yourself if you could get it this year?
Ooh.
Now I'll start out and let you guys think. Originally, I have two. I want the Horizon, the little Sport Cub. I think the Sport Cub would be an awesome FPV plane because it has landing gear. It's tough. It's not too big. It can do some aerobatics, and that would be cool. And then the other thing that I would like just as a testing bed would be the Bixler 3, which Matt Gunn keeps selling me on because he just put one together.
Yeah, I love that plane.
I'll sell you that one right there.
What is it?
The Sport Cub.
Sport Cub? Well, let's talk about it.
It's awesome. I love it.
We'll put some landing gear on there. And I'm just looking for some more airplanes that I can personally enjoy, just go out to the field, fly, and really have a good time ripping it up. That's what I'm looking for.
Cool. I know what I want is the new, yet to be released FMS A10 Warthog, that new A10 that's coming out in the 64-inch wingspan.
That's big.
I think. Yeah, it's huge. And of course, the way my brain works, and some of you can agree with me, and some of you are like, "Oh God, stop this guy." I just want to FPV it and do strafing runs, you know. So.
Someone just posted that. Stop Matt Gunn.
Really?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's what I want. The new FMS A10.
Okay. Now
you already reached out to Force RC, and I'm like, "Hey, when that thing comes out, I want it."
Mr. RC Sound has the machine gun. I've got it right here if you want mine. So when you do get that, you got to put the machine gun sound effect on that. So
it's got to be the Burt. It's got to be the Burt sound.
Oh, that
can't be
that.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to be that, and it can be done, you know. And it's got turbo fans on it, so it already sounds like an EDF when it flies around.
That'd be awesome.
Now there's a guy
Maybe you
that
could just rig up a playing card and put it like in the fan and get that sound.
like a bicycle.
Oh man, can you imagine the ingenuity that would go in to have some servo arm that pushes a playing card into a fan, and then it just turns it into shredded wheat coming out the back of the fan.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting. It's got to be a baseball card, I think, for real originality.
No, there's already a guy that took one. He took the FMS smaller version, I think, and he put a Nerf cannon in it. It was on YouTube. Yeah. And it actually goes for a second. It should, but the things only go like 10 feet in front, and then the wind resistance, they just all go back. Can you imagine?
That's official weight in the front.
Yeah. They need to put some lead weight in those things. But that's what I want. What about you, Jason?
I kind of want a Type W from Horizon to do some have a spare or backup plane for racing.
Nice.
Me and Joseph?
I'd have to go with my old standby. I'd like to get the Venturi. What's that thing called? The K5 Blazer, the Cinder.
Cinder.
Yeah, and I want to do that up like my dad's Blazer.
Isn't that Vetera?
Vetera, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Those are pretty cool, man. I like their crawlers. I remember when that one came out, I did the news story on it.
The good thing is everything we've asked for is attainable. None of it's like too.
Well, the FMS A10 isn't out yet.
Mike says on the chat, he says, "I want dry ground to land on."
Oh yeah, I'm in that boat too. It's just a frozen mess up here, and the second that it thaws out, it's a quagmire.
I still don't really have, there's a window right here providing this light. I still don't really have the unit to fly out the window and around in my office yet. I don't know whether I need to clear out the creeks for better takeoffs.
No, put your base station right outside of your window and sit and run the cord inside and sit right there. That way you can fly from inside to outside and not lose your signal.
I just
need Mavic, dude. You could fly like 2 miles away.
Seriously.
from your office.
If it wasn't illegal and I wasn't breaking any laws, I would love to fly from my house to the airfield, which is about 2 miles away.
Oh, that's an easy pull, man. We could do that in our sleep. In fact, we could run a pair of them and just,
all in theory.
In theory, right.
Hey, Mark Murdoch, I remember back in the day when FPV was still experimental, if you will, which was probably 5 years ago.
Keychain cam.
Yeah, well, no, he flew a plane miles and miles and miles away, and then had a buddy with the same frequency turn on, take over the plane, land it, put some sort of like little note on it, took back off, FPV'd it until they got in range. Then Mark took back over and landed. I remember that. That was pretty.
I might remember that
stuff. Yeah, that was a long time ago, man. That was back when I was living in Georgia.
All right, before we say goodbye, I'm going to tell my scariest RC airplane crash.
Oh.
So I had built a Ultra Stick 40, and I put a 60 size 2-stroke on it. I made custom graphics of a 2-stroke motor with crossed cylinder arms, and it said Death Stick.
That's already scary.
Yeah. And so I was being taught how to fly by Bryce Custer. This is my second airplane after my trainer. And I finished it. And Bryce, I called him to go to the field to help me fly. And he said, I'm out of town. You're going to have to fly it on your own. And I thought, what are you talking about? Fly it on my own. Have y'all not heard this story?
I've never heard it. Never heard it.
This almost put me out of RC. I would not be here today almost because of what happened here.
So if Bryce hadn't gone out of town, then you wouldn't be on this podcast right now.
No, well, we'll get to the end and you'll figure out what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure I can tell this on a broadcast. So I'm at an official RC field. I'm doing everything legally. I'm an AMA member. I get to the field by myself, and there's a guy there. Jason, I don't know if you ever met this guy. He ran a VHS shop. That's how long ago this was.
Yeah, no idea.
His I forget where he's from, but he had an accent like this. He talked like this, and he said, I help you fly, no problem. You get in there, I teach you how to fly that thing. And so, and I'm not saying what country he's from because my accents always revert to the country they're not from. So it's non-country specific. So anyway, I'm like, I take off, sorry, and I run off. Our runway was on a hill. I run off the runway and dip below the hill. My brand new airplane I've spent a month on is gone. And so what would you naturally do in that situation?
Pull back on the elevator, baby.
Full throttle. Yeah. Wow! It does, sorry for your ears. It comes straight up like a phoenix rising out of the dust, straight up. And then right as I'm like, yeah, all the pressure from full throttle blew the muffler off. So it goes, I mean, like times 10 the sound. So now that freaked me out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought to take it off full throttle after that. It is humming. Yeah! And the guy goes, turn left, turn left. So now I'm flying over the edge of the runway. And every time he'd say turn left, I would hit the stick and it would roll inverted. And he'd go, turn right, turn right. And then I'd roll it inverted the other way.
You're in for some troubles.
I'm going right next to the road. And I'm like, there's cars. The airplane's like at full throttle. Wow! And I'm upside down, upside down, upside down. And then it went up over a tree and vanished. And I thought, well, at least it's over. I finished. And then out of nowhere, the motor dies. Yeah. The airplane rises back up. The airplane comes back into the airspace. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I just kind of flew it until it was gone out of visual. So I get in my car. I'm shaking. He's like, man, that was crazy.
Wow.
I get in my car. I drive over to the parking lot across from our airfield. I crashed into a parking lot by a park right next to a car. I'm talking inches. And a landing gear, which was aluminum, was flattened and was next to the car with the landing wood block just laying there. So all I can figure is when I crash landed, I hit the landing gear just right and then blew the plane back into the air.
Nice,
and flew
nice.
over a creek into a field, and it was in 1,000 pieces.
Wow.
Debris field.
Scared me so bad I almost never flew RC again. It took me a month to get back in the air.
And now look at you.
Yeah, crashing.
Now you're doing crashing for a living.
Don't even worry about it now.
Me neither, man. That's a pretty good story, dude. My heart rate's up.
I bought a Wingo after that, and the Wingo is what got me back into feeling secure and not feeling like I was going to.
Yeah, starting on those nitro planes is never an easy thing to do, man. It's like if everyone could start on something as slow as a Wingo, or even the Champ, the little park zone planes, or the
Cub, the Sport Cub. I think would
anybody, those little guys are the way to go. Starting with a 50-inch all balsa built up nitro plane.
You put a 60 size motor on a 40 size plane.
Yeah, it never ends well. I think the same thing happened to me a couple times too when I was learning.
Next week, I'll tell you the story about when we crashed the Booker. Bryce Custer and I, a built up, beautiful 70-inch Booker that I wish I had today.
Okay.
Right.
We'll wait for that one.
Anybody have anything to say before we get out of here?
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Christmas, y'all.
Happy non-offensive, non-denominational winter season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes.
I'd like to go out with a song I wrote about my mother. Not really.
It's called Hot Trigger.
Dude.
Hot trigger!
Wow.
Well, everybody have a great holiday. Be careful out there. Enjoy your family, because really that's the most important thing, whether you know it or not at some point in time. You will. We hope you get what you want. And if you don't, buy it yourself, because that's the really only way to get what you really want. Christmas is over when the sales are on. I'm Jim T. Graham, your host. I want to thank Mean Joe Vermillion, Jason Cole, and Maticus Gunnicus for everything they do at RCGroups all year long. The year's not over yet, but we're getting towards it. And what I'm thinking is, guys, when we get towards the first, we can start talking about some of our favorite RC whatever from 2016.
Cool.
All right, RCGroups.com, the world's largest and
most active RC website.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Bye-bye.